Hear me out now. Turn it up loud. Coach Delson, Coach Butts. We gon' break it all down. Hear me out.
Welcome back to Hear Me Out with Elzy and Butts. I am Butts, and she is, of course, Elzy, and we're ready for another episode.
So glad to be back for another episode. Let's get right into it. Coach, we're always talking about dating and dating over 40 and what your take is. So you used to have an age group of 10 years. That was your span, right?
Well, not on the high side. I mean, I'll go. Oh, man, it's rough. It's rough out here in these streets, y'all. It's rough in these streets.
Okay, let's get it, because you're only on the high side, but you wouldn't go on the low side.
I don't even know if I go 10 on the high side now. I mean, it's more like 5 or 6 either way. That's what I'm thinking would be good. 5 or 6 years to the high, 5 or 6 years maybe to the low.
Well, Coach, you do realize we are on the high side. So the last time I checked.
So that's why the numbers keep going. That's why it's like, I'm thinking 10 years above. Yeah, no. I'm going to go 5 or 6 years because everybody doesn't live the same lifestyles.
That is true. So what I'm getting at, so when we're talking about dating over 40, so hear me out, listeners and viewers. What is the age range in which you would date right now? So while I'm setting the table, it's because, so we are not to put your business on the street, but to put your business on the street.
Because it sounds like you're about to put my business on the street.
Well, I just need the folks to weigh in. So we're out to eat at this nice restaurant because Coach Butts is a foodie and loves to eat. So we were having this fantastic service, but I realized we were having the fantastic service because the young, nice looking,
very
attractive young man was hitting on Coach Butts. So there was a round table with plenty of people at the table, but he would always come stand next to Coach Butts or get extra items for Coach Butts, all the things. So he was single, God-fearing, of course. We get the information, right? We're going to get all the information.
And he was young.
But only like 10 years younger than us.
Only?
So ladies, would you date someone 10 years younger? He had a job. He's been to college. He was very fit. And there's nothing wrong with a little cougar, Coach.
Yeah, he was, but he also, see, she is leaving things out of the story. Number one, I think he was nice to everyone at the table. I mean, she's gonna say he was giving me extra attention. Of course,
He was. He was, but that's okay.
Say that. Okay, but he was younger. I'll say that. Aesthetically, he looked great. He was a gentleman, very nice, a traveler, which is good. But he didn't have a family. He didn't have any kids already.
Correct.
He wanted kids, guys. The kitchen, and I want y'all to listen to me right now. I might need to say it in the mic. It's closed, right? So it's over. And so someone who is still young, right? He's 10 years younger than me, and he's still an adult male, right? So that's great. A lot of the same interests, all of that was true. Of course, we're extracting information as the night goes on, but he wanted to have kids. I am not having kids. Don't even start anything in that situation. Of course, everyone at the table is saying, well, you're not trying to marry him.
Yes.
But
yes.
I thought I was supposed to be doing things with intention, right?
Well, you are. Right? And then, that's your word. Yes, that is my word. And what we're trying to say is, in order to go out with people, you can go out with people just to have fun. You don't have to, like, I'm only going out. I mean, you can. We're not judging anybody. But you don't have to say, I'm going out and this is the man I'm going to marry. Like,
Right?
you could just go out. He was very fun to talk to. He was getting his license to be a pilot. You like to travel. And he might have been like Stella.
I mean, he very well could have been. Very nice gentleman. Very nice gentleman. But uh,
So 10 years was too young for you.
it's pretty young, right? It's pretty young. But even that, I probably could have overlooked that had he not wanted a family. That's something different. Because I don't really, yeah. And we're not in the same state. We're just, it's just nah.
So, see, you bring up a lot of points here. He wanted a family, but it's someone you could still talk to,
Sure.
get to know, be friends with. Like, you cut him off the moment he said he wanted a family, but you don't know. He could have changed his mind.
And see, there we go. Now that's a whole different animal when you're talking about that. All that change in minds, when it comes to family, kids, and stuff like that, that is real deep. That goes deeper than, all right, for the moment, I'm attracted to this person. I really like them. I know they want kids, but perhaps they will change that if we get to know each other. I wouldn't even want to go into it like that because that can become problematic. I think down the road.
I
That's
agree
a
with
big
that.
one. To me,
That
that was
is,
too much of a big one.
that is a big one. But so if someone else came to you 10 years younger
It's situational, right?
and
I think it depends. I think it depends. In
no,
this
it
case,
does not. It does not. It does not.
I
Let
think too, I still would be looking at it though, right? Because 10 years, that's a, yeah, that's a lot. He's
okay.
still in his 30s. I mean, yeah, yeah, coach. That's a lot.
Cougarish. But okay, but at our age, so Dexter and I are in essence 9 years apart, which worked for me because
No,
older,
y'all are 10 years apart.
well, 10 years apart.
Or
Well,
maybe 11. Is it 11?
no, we're
Oh,
10 years apart,
yeah,
but for a little bit where it's 9, then my birthday happens. Okay.
yeah.
So, but it worked for me because I liked older. I thought older brought more stability. Um, and he wasn't like the other people that I dated, hence why we ended up getting married. But older for me was better.
He
And
definitely
so,
wasn't like the other people you dated.
oh, so now you try to put my business on the streets. Okay. But hence why we get married. And so, talking about, you know, once I realized, oh, I'm ready to settle down and have a family,
Right.
I do think timing and where you are in your life when you meet people
Absolutely.
to date does matter. Because, yes, I did kind of like the bad boys, but some you got to grow, and mature. However, with saying that, when I was ready to settle down and get married and have a family and who I wanted to raise kids with and build a life with, that looked a lot different when I was older versus when I was younger. So hear me out. Is there an age difference? Could you date someone older? Could you date someone younger? Or do they have to be the same age as you?
I can, drop it in the comments, whatever you think. I can't wait to hear this one. I definitely think you can go older. You can go younger. I just think it depends on the individual. It is so individualized that it's just hard to say. Like, I would go older, but that older has to look a certain way for me. For me.
No, baby. In general, they have to look a certain way. We actually
No.
would have to draw
No.
your man up.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Oh,
You gotta
yes.
have these people thinking. Listen,
That is true.
viewers, what she's telling you right now is not completely accurate. You do not have to draw. My person is not going to be a stick figure or anything like that. He's not going to be some wild imagination. It's normal stuff, right? That I'm attracted to, which I think most of Americans are. And this is true, Coach. I don't know why you're
Okay,
making
we're not
things.
going to call you picky, but we're going to call you picky. So, in your 40s, when you're trying to date as a single man or a single woman, do you have a checklist of things that you're looking for? Do you find yourself that you're picky? I was just talking to one of my coworkers about having a non-negotiable list. These are on my non-negotiable list that like I'm going to ask these questions up front. And if they do not fit these boxes, I'm not going to date them. I'm not going to waste my time.
I think you get in trouble with a bunch of lists. There are some non-negotiables. I don't want smokers or no go. When it comes to just stuff like that, like we're not. If you're an addict of any kind, you're a drug user. I mean, these are like common, make sense type of things in my mind, right? I don't want that, but also like just some basics for me. You have to be a kind person.
Okay.
Kind. If you are not kind, I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you do. I don't care how much money you have. It will not. It will not work. I think you have to have some common interests, right? Not all interests have to be the same, but there definitely have to be common interests. And in fact, I think it's good to have things that are not the same so that you guys can introduce each other to different aspects of life, right? Although I'm still not bungee jumping, right? So if you are a daredevil and one of your big things is you're a risk taker and you like to do crazy, wild, adventurous things, I'm probably not gonna, if you want your partner to do that with you, I'm probably not going to be the partner for you. But if you don't mind if your partner holds your bag, holds your phone while you jump, right, supports you, then maybe we could work. But I think common interests are really, really important. But to me, the number one thing, you must be kind. If you are not a kind person, it just won't work.
Well, you need to be kind with some other things, but kind works. But you need to be kind with some other things. But it's funny that you say you have to have some common interests, which I totally agree. I was just talking to our pastor, Pastor Gaines, who's amazing. Shout out to him and Sister Sarah for their 30th anniversary. But we were talking, he did our premarital counseling, and he was talking about sometimes, like when people say opposites attract, those are the marriages or relationships that end up sustaining. And he was saying, it's like when you look at yourself in the mirror, would you want to marry yourself?
Right.
And why opposites attract instead of everybody, like everything is aligned. And so when I thought about that, I'm like, oh, yes, I couldn't have married another type A personality like myself, or we wouldn't make it. So I feel like opposites do attract because Dexter and I are we're aligned in a lot of ways and thinking and how we want to raise kids, family, all those things, God, but our personalities are very opposite. And maybe that's why we work,
Right.
because opposites attract where, for example, he's outgoing and loves people and he can invite people to the house every day. Let's have a party. Let's have a get together, and life's grand. The more he can cook, play the music, all that. Me inviting a house full of people over, like my anxiety is through the roof by the time, because I'm thinking about, I just cleaned the house. I just got the house clean. Now everybody's stampeding through the house, dropping stuff, moving stuff. So like my anxiety is like, whoo, but opposites attract. So you have to learn to compromise
True.
on some of those things. So hear me out. Who has great intel on opposites attracting, and what are some of the things that you and your partner or significant other are opposites on? And do you feel like opposites work better or likes, in your opinion, Coach Buds?
I think you have, again, I think you have to have more in common than the other way around, in my opinion. Because if it's too opposite, I think, and there's not an appreciation for what you do and how you do things, I think that's going to be too big of a clash. I think sometimes, like you said, it's an attraction. It makes it better, right? When you have different things and different interests. But I think the more you have in common, mixed in with a few things that you may not have in common, I think that strikes a good balance. Now, this is, of course, coming from the single person on the podcast, right? But you know what? It's crazy. I was listening to some other podcasts and just questions in general on social media, and it was about relationships. And I'll ask you the question, or maybe
Okay.
make the statement. I
Okay.
hope I don't screw it up. But it was something to the effect, if I said to you, or someone said to you, I can tell by I can tell how much you love yourself and how you feel about yourself based on the partner you chose. How would that make you feel? Is that a good statement for you? Or is that a bad, is that something that you're like, oh, maybe I don't love myself as much based on what you know about your partner? Or the other way is, if someone said to you, your partner, you were just like your partner, or something to that effect, would that be an insult, or would that make you feel good?
Well, to the first part of your question, see, that's complex for me. See, my mind started twirling all over the place. 'Cause, as you know, I'm an overthinker. So, for you guys that do not know, I'm very analytical. So, the first part of your question is, what came to my mind first is, I'm going to love me regardless.
But the question is, but
But
it's saying, based on the partner you chose, I can tell how you feel about yourself.
I know.
Basically saying, if someone, for example, this is not you, right? This is not you, but if someone who is in an abusive relationship, let's say, and someone made that statement, based on the partner you have chosen and that you are with, I can tell how much you love yourself. So someone in that type of situation, you would probably say, doesn't love themselves very much because they're in a situation that is not serving them at all, right?
correct. But I don't know. See, my mind's going all over the place. Because one, I
It's a
don't
good one.
know. It's a great one, but I don't know who would think of it in those terms.
I don't know. I got it from
Like,
you.
I don't
Listen,
know who would think of it in those terms. But me personally, I did well. So I
so
guess
for
I love
you,
myself a lot. So
you don't
yeah,
have to think about it
so I
deeply.
don't have to
It
think
is.
about it because I did well. So to that, what was the second part? See, you got me twirling on the
The
first
second
part.
one was more, if someone described you as being exactly like your partner, you are like your partner, and they assign that to you. Would that be an insult, or would that be a compliment? They said you are
Well,
exactly like your partner.
I would have some follow up questions. I would have some like, what do you mean
Think
by
about
that?
a person's
What do
character,
you
how this
mean by
person
that?
behaves, who they
Yes.
are as an individual, like who your partner is, the essence of them.
Yes, but I would
Everything
say
from front
I would
facing to what people don't see, everything.
yes. So I would say yes. I would take that as a compliment. Thank you, because I married well. I got a good Southern man, so I would take that as a compliment. But that my mind is still twirling and be like, well, why do I have to be like someone else? Why can't you?
It's just it's the question
Why?
about your partner, and to evaluate who you're with and really maybe why you're with that person.
I understand,
Yeah.
but
And
I
I
was just
think that's
telling
what
you.
they were saying. Again, I
Yes,
found it very interesting
that's
and
very
very
interesting.
intriguing. And so you know what? That's an interesting question.
That is an interesting question, but Praise God, I did well. We'll just leave it there. Praise God. While we're talking about relationships, I know you and I've talked a lot about this. So, to get other people in the fold, do you think, two questions, men and women can be platonic friends? One. And two, do you think people can be friends with their ex if they are in a relationship?
Oh, yes, Lordy mercy. I think the answer to both
Oh, oh,
is yes,
oh.
but that comes with a caveat.
Okay, I'm waiting for it because
It's
I,
completely situational.
yeah,
It's completely based on what happened, how did that go down, all of those things. I just really believe two people can be friends with each other and it not be anything. Men and women, right?
yeah.
I think it just depends on who the other person is. You know, if you know that someone is likes you or that someone is trying to go after you and you have a partner and you're trying to be cool with them, you guys are not on the same page. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about it is strictly they are, maybe I grew up with that person, right? Maybe our families have been connected and friends for a long time and there's clearly nothing there. I think yes, it can happen, but again, it is completely situational. The ex, is it an ex husband and do you share kids, or an ex-wife and you share kids, or is it an ex of were we in high school together?
It's
You know
just
what I
an
mean?
X. It's
Okay,
just an
yeah.
X.
So I think yes, but I also think it's if you know that this ex wants you back, but you trying to be cool with them, no, you can't be. You know, it just can't. It may not work that way. But I think it's situational. So I do think there are cases where it can happen. And if you're asking me, is it technically a good idea? Probably not, especially if your current wife or husband or partner does not want it to happen. I think it comes a problem where maybe there's somebody you've been real cool with your whole, like lifelong, since college. Like that's my boy or that's my girl, and you get into a relationship, and that other person that you get into the relationship with is like, whoa, 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 you can't have any male friends. Or if it's the
Whoa,
other way around, you
whoa.
can't have any, you know, female friends. Now, we might have a problem.
See, no, I think that is a real problem because I personally think that's a real problem because I think men and women can be friends. And I think you all offer each other a different perspective in friendship.
100%.
And like you said, some of my best guy friends I went to college with. Now, I do think you have to do it in a respectful way.
One,
So, like now,
absolutely.
the friends, the guys that we were friends with in college, Dexter is now friends with.
Mm-hmm.
So I, introduced them, and there's boundaries, obviously, because most of them are married now as well. But I mean, when you're 18 and you grow up with someone, there are guys that I'm friends with that I've known longer than my husband.
Correct.
And so now he's friends with them. So that always makes it a good thing. But it was funny. One of my best guy friends, he was telling me that he was having a conversation with his friends. And they were like, there's no way that you could be best friends with a girl. That's just not possible. And
I
I just
mean,
beg to differ. I just feel like that's what it is because you become like a brother sister type relationship. You're friends with their wife. I just think, like, to me, it's just
I
we
think
grew up together.
I think where I would separate things is I don't know about these new friends, right? So
New
maybe you're in a
friends.
relationship and maybe you're out at the gym or maybe you go do something. You're participating in some activity that your partner is not with you. You're not participating, and you engage in activities and you start talking to new people and you meet them and you start talking. I think you got to bring your if it's especially if it's the opposite sex. I think you have to tell, and in some cases the same sex. I'm not trying to, you have to tell your partner or husband or wife about that. Because if you don't and you start talking to this other person and it becomes more comfortable and you become more friendly, I don't know if you can just have, they're just my friend. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know if you can have that when it's new. I'm talking about new relationships.
Well, new relationships, they're our
Yeah.
friends. They're our friends, period. Because if Dexter was like, I have, for y'all that do not know, Dexter's my husband. If he was like, I have a new friend at work and her name is Sheila, for example, and we're going out to eat or whatever the case, okay, we are friends. Now I'm gonna have to go meet Sheila because a woman has an intuition that's crazy. So then if I met Sheila and she was fine and we're talking and I felt good about the vibe, I probably wouldn't think anything else about it. So Dexter has friends that are females that he's been friends with forever. And that's just what it is. Now I had to talk to him, like, because you got to feel there's a vibe, you got to feel. But those are the same friends that he's friends with that we're all friends now. So that would not bother me. But I would have more of a problem if when Dexter and I first started dating a long time ago, that he's like, oh, you have to cut off all of your friends that are guys. That would be so not attractive to me.
Yeah. I think it's, yeah, I think it becomes problematic when it starts to be um, like that. But again, all of these things I think are situational. It just depends. Now, I was told when you're talking about that friend thing, I consider myself to be pretty social, right? So I'll talk to anybody, never really met a stranger. And I take my moving into a new neighborhood, for instance. I, I'm out, I'm working out, I'm walking, I'm doing my lawn. So I'm meeting, I'm talking to people, and I'm sure these are people's husbands, boyfriends, but I'm talking to everybody, right? And
Hmm.
sometimes I don't even see their wives or girlfriends ever, like hardly ever. They're not outside, and so I'll end up just talking to the. Now I don't think anything about that at all, and I love food. We've talked about that before. I was told that I may be violating
That's correct.
because if I'm talking to a neighbor and the neighbor says, "Oh, I like such and such," and I have a connection, I might order a pie and be like, hey, you gotta try this. And for me, all I did was like, hey, they told me they like key lime pie. I got a baker, makes a great key lime pie. Hey man, take this back. Let me know what you think. Even feed your family, let you know. But I was told on a trip one time that
Hmm.
you can't be buying that man pies and feeding him. I'm like, I didn't feed him. He said he likes pie. Like for me, it was simple. It was that's it. Nothing else to it. Give some to your wife or your girlfriend. It doesn't matter to me. I thought I was doing something simple. So they made me go back and reevaluate. Maybe I've been violating a code of some sort.
Well, you have, but that's okay. They didn't take it personally. You have violated the code because see, like if Dexter's in the workplace or your significant other is in a workplace and a female is bringing him food or mail or whatever the case may be, is she
Can't
bringing it for
that
the whole office? Is she
can't
just
that be
bringing it for
situational
you?
too?
It can be situational. But see, if Dexter came home and said, Sally made me some cake, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, great. Who else did she make the cake for?
Hmm.
Who
Okay.
else did she give cake to? Because see, now that has piqued my interest.
You
Is
got a
she
problem.
just
You might have an issue with Sally, is what you're saying.
well, I'm not saying that I do, but I have some questions. I have some follow-up questions. Like, why did she just give it to you?
Okay, so what? Let's take me for instance. You know me. How many times have I ordered or bought stuff in our office when we were working together for different people in the office? A lot of them men, and I got it for them in particular, directly to them. Was I
Well,
wrong?
well, I don't think that's wrong because the work environment in which sport crosses us, I think is different. However, and we know each other like family. So I do think that is different than just regular people working together and you're not
So
vibing
you're
like
saying
that.
to me randomly giving my neighbor a cake because he likes pound cake is out of bounds.
Well, I'm not saying it's out of bounds, but you need to offer your neighbor who's a male and the wife. I'm offering
He
you
can give
all,
his wife some cake.
right? But I'm just you asking me what's out of bounds. I'm saying offer both of them cake.
But I don't know her.
Or
I
hey
don't meet
girl,
her.
I gave Mr. Dan some cake. I hope you have the opportunity to eat some.
Yes, if I talk to her when I speak with her, I can say that. But if
Yeah.
I don't know her and we're just having a cordial, casual conversation in the front yard, he's like, "Man, I saw you taking that cake." I was like, "Oh, you like cake? We'll take care of that." I give him a cake.
Tip number one, get to know her too. Tip number one, get to know her as well. You might talk to him more often, but say something.
100. I don't. But you know me. I'm just having conversation. I don't.
Exactly.
I'm not even thinking about that one bit.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to help you. Tip number one, offer everybody the cake. But while we're on that topic, something crossed my feed. It was saying, now I've never even thought about this because the people that we kind of mingle with, we're all family, that as a female, that you should never give another person's significant other a hug chest to chest.
Oh, I think I saw that too.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
You're supposed to give them a side hug if they're in a relationship. So hear me out. What are y'all thoughts on that? I literally have never thought about that because usually when you just hug someone, embrace them, you just give them a hug.
well,
But
you
now
definitely violated that.
I know that's what I just said. I've never even thought about it until that moment. So when you give someone a hug that's in a relationship, do you give them a church hug? You
Well,
give
I'm
them a
kind of
side
I don't
hug?
normally full fledged hug anybody relationship
Oh, well,
wise,
I definitely violated because I just
but
hug people. I just give them a hug.
you handshake or whatever, then you go in for the little police pat tap on the back, kind of a
Now,
hug,
coach, what kind of hug you
but
giving?
not really an embrace type thing.
So when you hug people, you're not embracing them?
Well, I mean, yes, but you know how
You dapping them? No, no, that's a dap up. Like you.
you're still leaning in and hugging them, but you're not like
So you giving a
like
boy a
it's not
hug?
a strong caress, a strong
No,
grip.
it's not a caress. It's just a hug. Like when a female hugs somebody, you just go up and wrap your arms around and hug them. Nice to see you.
Yeah, I understand when they say that because I mean, if you know, maybe you're dressed in a certain way, or you're going out nice, and maybe you have some stuff out, and you just pressing your chest bones up against somebody or whatever. It can be taken a certain way, but I think if it's completely innocent and it's just like quick and you in and you're out, I
I've
don't.
never even thought about that until I read that the other day.
You're violating. Let me
Well,
tell you.
I guess I am violating along with a lot of other people.
Yeah, I guess
I never thought about it until I saw that.
I'm just trying to think. Do I like fully like right here embrace like that?
Coach, it sounds
Sometimes
like you
there's
just dap
definitely
them
been
up.
cases where I haven't seen people in a long time, where it's like, man, where have you been? And you might even give a little rock, a little swing when you hug them. You know what I mean? But it's your boy. It's you're like, hey, or I
Well,
don't
this
know.
this is a violation. Hear me out. Do you think it's a violation to hug someone chest to chest if you are in a relationship? I'm so curious about this because I'm going to continue to violate. I'm just going to say that because
Okay,
when
because
I
I
give
ain't
hugs, I
violated
just
and you gonna violate.
yeah, because when I give people hugs, I just hug them. Like I don't think about it. But it did make me step back and be like, well, maybe I should give like a pastor hug, a church hug.
Yeah.
Because you know, when your pastors, they kind of hunch their back
Yeah,
and wrap their arm
like
around
you
you.
don't really touch them. It's kind of like boom, and you're out. That's kind of what I do
Coach, it
already.
sound like you dapping them up type of
So
hug.
it's definitely a lot of the dap ups, but I'm cool though. I feel like I'm cool with it. So it's not can't be seen as like something where you're intentionally trying to be sexual or taken the wrong way. I don't know.
Well, we already know we both been in violation. So if anyone else has been in violation, let us know. Or are there other things that you are doing as a male, female that are in violation when people are in a relationship? Let us know. While we're talking about relationships, relationships are so complex. There's just so many things that are going on, but money is always a big issue in marriages. How you're going to handle your finances, how people spend their money, how you're going to separate your money, how you're going to bring your money together. Let's dive in, coach, because I always have some different thoughts about this. But when you think about marriage, say you're getting married, because we're going to put you on Married at First Sight. So hear me out, viewers. We're trying to get Coach Butts on Married at First Sight, and she's in a city. I hope they come to Atlanta so we can put her on. But anyway, if you're getting married and you are the age you are now, and y'all are around the same age, because we already know not older or younger, same age, both have careers. How would you merge your finances, or would you?
I don't know about the merging. The merging would come once we are together from that point forward.
No,
So,
no, coach. When you come together, you are one.
yeah, we're one, but we're not one account. We are one, but we will not be in one account. Listen, here's the way I think about it. Before marriage, what I bring in my relationship, whatever a person has, right? If you are someone who owns properties or you're on cards, whatever you deem important to you, if you come into the relationship with that, that's yours. And the same thing goes for him.
Okay.
Um, and whatever you have, once you become together on the same, you get married, I think from that point on, the growth is together. That is
Okay.
shared growth, in my opinion. And the reason why I say that, because there are a lot of people who may be coming into this situation with homes that maybe be passed down in their families. I don't think anybody I am marrying, should it not work out, has a right to my family home.
Okay.
Married to me or not, I don't care how long we were married. I don't think they have a right to it, and I don't think I should be put in a position to have to sell that asset, whatever it is. It could be home, it could be jewelry, it could be anything that that other person deems important because I was married to you. I think that's a bad contract, in my opinion.
Okay.
And the same thing on their side. Now, what I will say is anything, any assets the two people have separately, once they come together, if you are a person, let's say you have this business and your business is generating income, yeah, I'm not saying keep that to yourself. Like, you're married now. So all of my assets, whatever they are, or whatever a person's collection of properties, monies, whatever they have, they can be used during the course of the relationship because it's about taking care of your home and your family. But there is absolutely zero chance. You understand? Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? There's absolutely zero chance anyone I'm in a relationship with, married to, has any business thinking that they're going to get anything that I have for Jackson, aka Chachi, who is your son, for those who are new to our podcast and watching it or listening to it. I have 6 god kids. There is no way anything that I have for them that someone else is going to have their name on. It's just not going to happen. And I don't understand why people think that's the expectation. And it has nothing to do with whether or not I love that person or not, or think that we're going to get divorced, or we're just saying we're setting ourselves up for it not to work. I don't think about prenups or finances in that way at all. At all.
So are you offering them a prenup to
Oh,
begin with?
oh, 100% we have to. Because here's the thing, I don't buy into I would never do that
So what
to
if they're
someone.
offended by the prenup?
Well, I'm sorry. Sorry for my offense to you,
Would
but
you sign a prenup?
absolutely. Absolutely. I would sign it. And again, here's the thing. Prenups are made up all kinds of ways. There depends on what's in it. I wouldn't just sign any old thing, right? I wouldn't sign something that told me I couldn't get anything. I'm married to you for whatever years and we've accumulated and built wealth during that time, and you're telling me I'm entitled to $10,000 when we've built, you know, 400,000. I'm just throwing out numbers to try to make it like some people have different agreements. So it just depends on how it's written up and what's in it. But I am 100% not opposed to signing something that says, and these are simple terms. I can't what I have right now
Yep.
does not belong to you. I will use it, right? I will use it for us because it's a part of my money, it's a part of my income. I will use it in our relationship, in our marriage, but you are not entitled to have, quote unquote, if it's a business or if it's a house or something that I've owned previously before you. I don't think anyone is entitled to that. Now, that's just my opinion.
I understand. So hear me out. What do you all think? Do you think people should be entitled? Do you become one when you blow out the separate candles and the unity candle together?
Well, we're not going to
And,
have a unity candle and all that then, because
and also, what about your account? So once you are married, do you believe in having your own account? They have their own account. You have a joint account that you pay the bills out of. Do you want one, this family account? How are you operating?
first, I think there's no, people do it the way that works for them. Right.
Absolutely.
So I want to say that off top. I'm not
Yeah.
an
I'm
expert.
asking what works for you.
Me, I would probably have separate two. You know, we may have one joint, both have a separate account, and maybe there would be a percentage of funds that have to go into the joint account, and kind of divvy it up that way. It wouldn't be a certain amount of money because I think people are maybe on different salary levels, right?
Absolutely.
So if somebody's on a higher scale than someone else, if someone is making 30,000 and the other person is making 80, I don't think the person making, if we're like, you got to put in, you know, 6,000 a month. Well, the person making 30 is not going to be able to put in 6,000. But if it's a percentage of
Yeah.
your money, you know, if it's 5%, we both have to put in 5% of whatever my salary is and 5% of yours. It's going to be different amounts, but it's still 5%, right?
Absolutely.
So I just feel like that, but 100%, I'm going to have an account. I mean,
Oh, well, you made that clear, Coach, that you're
for
going to have an
me,
account.
I will definitely have something that I can control and that it won't all be there. I, I just believe we have different strengths, and you may be partnered with someone who is not as good with finances as you are, and maybe the way they're doing the finances and how they're going about things is not the way it should be. And no.
Well, and I also think that people value money in different ways, whether it's
Absolutely.
good or bad, what you value money on. So for me, as you know, I'm one of those people that the bills are going to come to the house and I'm going to open every envelope. I'm going to take an hour out of my day and I'm going to comb down the whole bill. And if they have cheated me 50 cents, I am going to stay on the
Oh,
phone
you will
for
get the
1 hour and I'm going to get the 50 cents. I'm going to get it just because I don't care if it's a dime, I'm going to get it. And so being frugal with the dollar, but there's also things that I like to splurge on versus Dexter. He buys, so I like clothes, shoes, which he does too, but he doesn't buy them often. I usually buy them for him. But he likes mulch. So
You gotta
this is
have
just
a
an
good job.
example.
Period.
This is just an example where on a tailored suit, I would be like, okay, I'm willing to spend the money for the suit to look how I want. Okay. But I do not want to spend $500+ on mulch
Yeah,
that's going to
I
get
don't
ruined.
either, but sometimes
But I
it's
know
necessary, Coach.
it's necessary. But that's what I'm saying. People value how they spend their money in different ways. So, but I also think it's smart for everybody to have their own money and you come to an agreement. So we have a joint account that all of our household items come out of. But then in our separate accounts, if we're going to purchase what we want to purchase, we can do that without being like, oh, I spent $5 at 7-Eleven and I got to check in with you. So that gives us, we're both
Right.
working professionals.
Let me ask you this. Even though you have separate accounts, because for me, I'm thinking it would be a joint account and then each person can have their own account. But I still believe big purchases have to be discussed, even if it's coming out of your account. I mean, it's not a yes or no thing. It's just informing and saying, hey, this is what's going on. We got to talk about big purchases, because I think in our world, I'm so used to, especially in athletics, you got players who end up, being mega successful, or just people, whether it be in the entertainment industry. And a lot of times, especially in our community, once you make it, you're taking care of a lot of people, your family and whoever else. But let's just say you're married to someone and you're used to doing things for your mother or your father, and that other person is like, no, we're not doing XYZ. I think that's when you kind of get into money situations and things like that. That's why having discussions and talking about it, I think, is 100% the way to go. And how people decide they want to go from there is one thing.
Well, absolutely. We talk about big purchases and we have a dollar amount set. Like if it's over this amount of money, we have to discuss. So for me, he just shakes his head, but we have to discuss it. For Christmas, I'm a Christmas person. I love Christmas. I want to light up the whole house. So when you drive down the neighborhood, I want to light up the whole house, right? That's where I want to spend the money. So it feels like Christmas in here. I'm going to go to At Home and buy all the things. Yet, he would prefer to spend money on buying Jackson gifts, where me, I'm like one big gift and you're done.
Well, you do not win. I can tell everybody listening that's not what happens.
I do
He
not win.
No, you do
I
not
do not
win.
win. I do not win. So hear me out. Tell us how you spend your money. Would you sign a prenup? Would you be offended if someone asked you to sign a prenup? See, I think I would sign a prenup regardless. I would not be offended by that.
No, I
Now,
would not.
it has to make sense. And I've always been a big believer. If things do not work out, walk away with what you came with. So that would separate that, and then just divide everything else in the middle. I'm sure there's other variables, and I've never had to be in that situation, and I pray to God that I don't. But that's how I feel like I would handle it.
Respond to it, right?
That's how I feel like I would. But there's a lot of variables, so we'll talk about that as we're continuing to talk about relationships. Think about some date night. So, working with college athletes, you learn all kind of things about date nights and how they spend their money, and, the promposals, and how you have to do a big decorative ask
I
of
think
who
that's
you want to be, my
that's over the
girlfriend,
top.
boyfriend, etc. And so I'm a hopeless romantic. So I get it. So, what is one of the best dates that you've ever been on? And what is a dream date that someone
Number
could take
one,
you
I have not been on a lot of dates because I don't really go on dates.
on?
And I don't know. I don't really have a best date story. I'm pretty simple. I mean, you know this about me. I'm going to eat and maybe a movie or something. Nice dinner. I really, I don't know. These are mine are all boring. You know, you are the adventurous one. I gotta track you, put a tracker on
Oh,
your
yes.
phone or car because you're like, I'm going such and such. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, stay around a lot of people. Like, that's what I'm thinking. So I don't really have like, oh, these best dates. For me, a really good date would just be something really chill, real casual. We can go to the park. We can go play pickleball. You know, do something, some activity. Go to a nice dinner. Listen to some live music. Something like that. Real simple. Really chill. And that's all I need. You may be a little bit different.
Oh, I am
I
different.
would be happy. And see, this is what people have to understand about me. Chipotle is a luxury meal. If somebody wanted to go, like, hey, let's meet up, and you know how people say, well, let's do coffee for a first date or something like that. They don't know. Make sure the conversation is there. If we went to Chipotle, picked up a couple of bowls, went to the park or somewhere, sat down and talked for 4 hours, that would be nice to me.
I
Like,
mean, that would be fun.
I wouldn't think anything about it. I wouldn't think I'm valued less or anything. Like, all these things I hear on social media and listen to people talk about, like, it just doesn't move me at all. Sure, I like nice things. I want to be, treated well, but certain stuff I just value more.
Well, you're not valued less, coach, but it's just like
Yeah,
a
that's
hopeless
how it's presented.
romantic. Hopeless romantic. See, one of my best dates that I've ever been on, Dexter flew me to Atlanta and told me to buy a black dress. I didn't know where we're going. I didn't know what we were doing. We had just started dating, and I got to Atlanta. I got dressed. Um, we went to see Brian McKnight front row. It was amazing. Then went out to eat. He had all my friends set up at one of my favorite spots. He's done a lot. But when I think about a hopeless romantic date, I want to go on a scavenger hunt
Hmm.
around the city. And then when I get to the end of the scavenger hunt, there is a store he tells me to go get an outfit or some outfits. And then we
Yeah.
fly to Bora Bora.
Boy, you know what? See, that's what I'm saying, Coach.
And
No,
that's so
see, I
romantic.
can't. I can't mess. That's your
That's
date.
so romantic. That's a great dream date. So if you have a dream date that anything you wanted, what would your dream date? That's so romantic. That would be so much fun. All right, coach, I'm done talking relationship with you because you're boring me with the want to go to Chipotle. But there's nothing wrong with it. But for my people who like romantic dates, give us some ideas of what you guys would do. It's time for the 94 feet. If you know, you know, bring that heat. All right. 94 feet, coach, you know the rules. One, pick one,
I
be
got.
coachable.
I
Here
got
we
number one.
go. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
I'm sunset as well. Would you rather lead or follow?
Lead.
I'm with you. Lead. Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
I'm with you on pizza. Phone call or FaceTime?
Oh, I like a good FaceTime.
I do too, because you
I
can
like a
see, you
good
can
FaceTime.
connect, you can see how people are feeling, what they're looking like. Favorite word?
Absolutely. I say it a lot.
You do.
Absolutely.
Intentional. That's my
Of
favorite
course
word.
it is. Of course it is.
Biggest fear?
Failure.
That's a good one. I'm outside the box. My biggest fear is to drown or get burnt up.
Well, that's actually I went a little deeper on that, but actually I don't want to be in a car crash, a plane crash, drown, or set on fire. Those are my four. Like, I don't being on fire, being in a fire and burning up, drowning, car crash, or plane crash.
Okay, that was 4, but okay.
Yes, but those are like, I didn't want to get to the death, but you know how I think. So
okay. Okay. Last thing that made you belly laugh.
You, when we were talking about music on our vacation to Miami, and you always get the songs wrong, the people who sing them wrong. Oh Lord, I can't. I can't even remember what song it was now. What movie was it? Like The Best Man? Was it
The Best Man.
What song did you think they were singing at the end?
I can't remember now. What did I say?
It was some electric slide.
Electric slide,
It
yeah.
was not the electric slide. I don't know what it was, but I don't think it was the electric slide. But anyway, yeah, that's just par for the course.
Yeah, that is. One piece of advice for your younger self.
Don't worry about it.
Mine would be confident in who you are. Own it. Fill in the blank. I'm becoming.
Better.
I would say I'm becoming more fierce. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of Hear Me Out. We can't wait to hear what you have to say. Leave it in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, listen, all the things. Keep showing up, keep showing out, keep loving you. Peace out.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Ooh. Real talk, we don't play around. Hit that play. Let the truth come out. Stay tuned in, stay